All right. So, how many of you guys, whenever your parents are going somewhere new that they've never been before, and they don't know exactly how to get there, they use their phone GPS to get there? Or do you have GPS in your car? Maybe you have GPS in your car. You guys seen that? They once in a while what? Oh, they went somewhere. Oh, did they use their GPS to get there? Yeah. So a lot of your parents probably use GPS. Now, when you open up your GPS and you type in a place to go, do you guys know all the information that your GPS gives you when you're going to go there? What's some of the information that it tells you before you even start going? Huh? Like which direction to go. Okay, what else?
Toll roads.
If there's toll roads there, yep. What turns to take, right? What? Okay, sometimes it does warn you about police. That's right. And I know that some of you have been saved by that one, right? Yeah. Yeah, it does warn you about police, but it tells you about construction. Yep. It might tell you about an alternate direction that you need to take, right, to avoid construction. Yeah. Yeah. About ambulances. It does tell you about emergency vehicles sometimes. I think you're right. But it also tells you how many miles you have to go, how long it's going to take you. Okay, all those things. Okay. So what if I opened up my GPS and my GPS just said, well, I'll tell you where to go, but I'm not going to show you how or how long or even any of the construction or anything. You just have to follow my voice, the GPS voice, and I'll get you there safely. Do you think that I would be happy with that? I probably wouldn't, right? I would probably get rid of that GPS app and try a different one because I want to know all the answers, right? I want to know all the turns. I want to know how long it's going to take me so that I can plan my trip accordingly. But oftentimes, here's the thing that's kind of interesting. Life doesn't work that way. So many of you will probably know approximately where you'll be in a year or two, right? You'll probably be at school, doing or getting ready for school again. You kind of know where you're going to go, but you can't know everything that's going to happen with life, right? It's just not possible. You can't know all the different possibilities, all the different route changes. Oftentimes, we walk through life and we're just kind of like, I don't really know what's going to happen. Like we may know possibilities, but we aren't going to, like we're never going to know if a tornado is going to hit our city, right? Like we just don't know that ahead of time. We don't know if our car is going to break down. We don't know if, somebody's going to move away. We don't know a lot of those things. We don't know a lot of those realities from life. And the thing about Psalm 23 that we just had Ben read for us is that it reminds us, first of all, that God doesn't promise a life without valleys. He promises His presence through them. So what's a dark valley? What would you say in life is a dark valley? Yep.
Like a dark place.
A dark place, yeah. Like if you were to figuratively, I know this is like a big idea for those of you who are kids, but if you were to think about, if you were to call something in your life a dark valley, what might happen in a dark valley of your life? Like a time when your life is not good. Can you guys think of something that might possibly happen? Yeah?
There might be like dangerous animals in there.
A dangerous animal? Yeah, like you get attacked by, has anybody ever been attacked by a dog? Yeah, it's kind of scary. It can be bad, right? Like we can have some really bad things happen in life. We could get sick. Our mom or dad could get sick. Our car could break down or our car could get crashed. Like there's lots of things. We could lose a friend. Like there's bad things that can happen in life. And God doesn't promise that bad things will never happen, but He does promise that He's going to be with us through all of it. So, I want to give you just a few reminders from Psalm 23 that are really, really important as we are facing the challenging times in life. All right, we're going to read this psalm again. So I'm going to start reading again in Psalm 23, verse 1. And the psalmist writes this. He says, "The Lord is my shepherd. I have all that I need. He lets me rest in green meadows. He leads me beside peaceful streams. He renews my strength. He guides me along right paths, bringing honor to his name." And here's basically what the psalmist is telling us. The shepherd provides what we need. Now, is there a difference between what you need and what you want? What do you guys think? So what's the difference between what you need and what you want? What do you think, Connor?
When the thing that you don't need, like, doesn't mean, like, you don't need, like, a waste of money. And anything that you do need, is, like, not a waste of money.
Yeah. So like things that you really need are not a waste of money, but things that you don't need, they're kind of a waste of money, right? So it kind of shows you. Like we probably don't need a bunch of video games. Like they're really fun to play. But we need water and food, right? Like so there's a big difference between what you want and what you need. And the psalmist is telling us that the shepherd provides what we need. And he does this. He does it this way. He provides time of rest. Can you guys think of a time in your life when you needed to rest?
Like when I'm tired.
When you're tired, yeah. What makes you tired? What makes you tired? When you don't sleep or when you have some Benadryl. Yes, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. How many of you guys that went on the float trip, you were really tired after the float trip? Yeah. You were tired, Riker. I know you slept most of the way home, didn't you? Yeah. Yeah, he gives us rest. He leads us. When do you need to be led? Or when do you need somebody to lead you in a direction? What do you think, Isaiah? When do you need to be led? When you don't know where to go or what to do, right? Yeah. Like we need somebody to lead us, right? He renews our strength. When's the time that you needed to be renewed? When your strength needed to be renewed? You ever been sick before, Garrett? Yeah? Yeah? So when you're sick, you need your strength renewed, right? Yeah, he provides what we need. He provides what we need. All right, second thing that we can take from this psalm. Even when I walk through the darkest valley, I will not be afraid. For you are close beside me. Your rod and your staff protect me and comfort me. So we talked about the dark valleys of life, right? Those moments and those situations in life that are not quite the way life is supposed to be. So how many of you have ever broken one of your arm, like an arm or a leg or a finger or something like that? Anybody broken anything? You broken something? Yeah. You broke your pinky finger? You broke your arm? Your collarbone. I remember that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And so when you're going through that situation, that time in life when things are dark, God is with us. And here's what he's saying is that the shepherd never leaves you in the valley. So whenever you're going through a tough time, whenever you're going through a difficult time, the shepherd never leaves you. You know, I know one of my favorite things about this psalm is that when life is good, you know, when he's talking about the green meadows and the green pastures and the water and the quiet streams, all that stuff, he's talking about God. But in this moment, he says, I will not be afraid, for you are close. He starts talking to God. He starts talking, directly to God. Like in this moment when things are good, we talk about God. But in these moments when times are hard, we talk to God. And then he talks about two different tools that the shepherd uses. What are the two tools that the shepherd uses? Did you guys see them? What's the first tool? Go back. What's the tools? Huh? Okay, the first one is the rod. What's a rod? Do you guys know what a rod is that a shepherd uses? No, that's the staff. So the rod is actually kind of like this. It's kind of like a club. So the club is a club that the shepherd will use to like beat off animals that are trying to hurt the sheep, or if a human tries to steal one of the sheep, the shepherd might use it for that. Okay? But the staff is for something different. What's the staff for? He's not. Yeah, it's like if the sheep is going in a bad direction and you're in the dark, the shepherd reaches over there and puts that crook around the sheep's neck and pulls it to safety, right? And sometimes he'll use that long staff to just kind of guide and direct the sheep and to keep them going in the right direction because it's dark and they can't see. You know, that's the thing. So the shepherd never leaves you in the valley, and while he's there, he protects you and he makes sure that you're going in the right direction. But then it's kind of interesting because then the shepherd changes. So then then the psalmist is still talking to God. You prepare a feast for me in the presence of my enemies. You honor me by anointing my head with oil. My cup overflows with blessings. Surely your goodness and unfailing love will pursue me all the days of my life, and I will live in the house of the Lord forever. Here's something interesting about this psalm. The shepherd then becomes the host. What's a host? You guys know what a host is?
Like they like host something, like a movie, like a TV host.
Yeah. Like if you're going to host a movie at your house, you invite everybody over, and you're the host, right? You invite everybody over. You might give them some popcorn and drinks and stuff like that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So the shepherd becomes the host. So the shepherd walks you through the dark valley, and then he gives you a table. What's on that table? Did you guys see? Yeah, there's a cup that's overflowing, right? He prepares a feast. How many of you guys have had a feast before? Ever been to Thanksgiving dinner? Yeah, Thanksgiving dinner, like turkey and ham and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, he prepares a feast, but where's the feast at? Like, who's at the feast? That's kind of odd. What do you guys think? Paying attention, Garrett, Ben? Who's at the feast? Yeah?
I'll say like Jesus.
Some good people, right? But there's also enemies. Enemies are at the feast. What's an enemy? What does that mean?
That means you don't like someone and they're like your enemy.
Yeah, somebody who doesn't like you, somebody who's mean to you, somebody who bullies you. Yeah. And so God brings you into this table, and when you go through the dark valley, he doesn't get rid of the enemies, he doesn't get rid of the bad people, but he blesses you in the middle of it, right? He blesses you in the middle of it. And so it's important to kind of remember this, that peace is not the absence of enemies. Peace is the presence of God. Like God being with you is what peace is. Every year when I'm coming home from the float trip, it kind of amazes me. It's a really long, we talked about it just a minute ago. It's a really long trip. It's a trip that just kind of wears you out because you sleep in a bed that's not yours, and you float down a river for 6 hours in the sun. You're literally baking. And I mean, everybody gets back from that trip and you're just really tired. And every time when I'm driving back from that trip, I look back and like 3/4 of the van's asleep. They're just asleep. Everybody's asleep. And, when I think about that, it's interesting because, it's kind of like this situation. They don't know where they're going. I mean, nobody in the van cares where they're going. I could drive to Texas, or I could drive to Missouri, or I could drive somewhere and nobody'd care because they're all asleep, right? They don't know how much further we have. Some people ask that, but not very many. They don't know what the name of the road is. But they're asleep. They're asleep. Why? Because they trust the driver. They trust the driver to get them from point A to point B, right? From the float trip back home to Cordell. And that's often what it looks like when we trust God in the difficult, challenging moments of life. We don't know exactly where we're going. We don't know how long it's going to take. We don't know the turns that we're going to have to take. All we know is that we're with the shepherd. And the shepherd, not only does he take care of us, but he also is our host. All right. So the promise of Psalm 23 is not that you're going to avoid the valley. The promise is that you're going to never walk through the valley alone.